Hi guys, and welcome back to In the Petite Kitchen with recipe number 4. So today I'm going to be doing something based on a recipe by Greg Maalouf, and it's from his book SUKKAR. It's a beautiful, he calls it freestyle peach pie, which is also called galette. For a flaky crust, make sure your butter and your water are ice cold. Use any stone fruits that you would like. I really love galettes or freestyle pies because it's a dough basically that's rolled out into a disc. You pile whatever filling you want, and then you randomly fold it over and you bake it. In this case, the filling is peach. Now I had only 2 peaches, so I used peach and apples, so it's fine. And then under the fruit, he uses ground hazelnut. I had almonds, so I just grind some slivered almonds, and I'm going to use that. I think that works as a barrier between the fruit and the juice and the crust. Now, talking about the crust is all made in a food processor, which is really super easy. I'm going to show you, and it has some delicious orange zest in it. So it's a sweet orange short crust, and I also wanted to add that towards the end. He asks us to sprinkle some orange blossom water on top before serving. I'm planning to have it with some vanilla canvas ice cream, gelato. So that's going to be a killer combination. And if anybody knows me well, you would know that my favorite scent in the world is the scent of orange blossom. So it brings back many happy memories. So I'm going to start with the food processor. I'm going to just bring it closer. And I'm just going to put it like this. We're going to start with 200 grams of plain flour. We're going to need a bit more flour for dusting later on when we're rolling the dough. So I've never done this before. I've never done this galette recipe before. So I'm really eager to see how it turns out. So this is the 200 grams flour. We have 40 grams of castor sugar. We have 1/4 of a teaspoon of sea salt. Okay. And then we add the orange zest. That's going to give it such a beautiful smell and flavor. And then we're going to pulse to have everything combined. Okay, so everything is combined in here. Now, my butter is chilling nicely in the fridge because it has to be diced and really, really, really cold. And we also need, so the butter is 120 grams of butter, diced and chilled. Now, I didn't really dice it, you might see in a bit. I just randomly chopped it. And we need 60 ml of ice water. So I'm gonna get them from the fridge, just hold on. So now I'm gonna just close this and add the butter and pulse. So it doesn't say if we have to add the butter in one go. I'm gonna add probably half of it, pulse, and then add the rest because we have to work really quickly. We don't want the butter to come to room temperature. And it's not specifically cool here in Dubai, so it's gonna pulse. So the texture here, we would want to have pieces of butter. We don't want the butter to be completely incorporated. So I'm gonna add the rest of the butter because the pockets of butter are gonna give the crust crispiness and deliciousness and flakiness. It's gonna create flakiness, like the layers between croissant dough. There are pure butter. So that's my butter all in. So it says it has to be like a coarse texture. I'm going to show you. Like coarse sand. So that is the texture. Now I need to slowly add the water. That's perfect because we have some pieces of butter that are this size. And it's normal. We need like pea size or a bit smaller. So I'm gonna add the water, I'm gonna drizzle it. Water in 3 goes and pulsing between each. So 1, and then we pulse. And then 1 go. And then 1 last go. Now it is, okay, I can see the dough starting to form. So we have to keep on pulsing a bit longer until it comes together. Now, oh, it's beautiful. Oh, wow. So look at that. Look at that. And it smells so good. Oh, I'm so happy, guys. I'm really happy now. Really happy. So we're just gonna move this away. And I'm gonna tip the dough on my work surface. I'm just gonna put a bit of flour, just some plain flour. Okay, just gonna tip it all over. Okay, and now, okay, look at that. It's a beautiful, beautiful dough, honestly. It's gorgeous. Roll it between 2 sheets of baking paper, like this. I'm just going to make sure that there's enough flour on it. And then I'm going to put 1 baking sheet and 1 on top. And then we have to roll it into about 30 centimeters, which is quite big. So I got like a disc of 25 centimeters. So I'm going to do it a bit bigger. I'm having so much fun entertaining myself because otherwise I'm like scared of getting scared of this situation with the pandemic. Anyway, so rolling. It's a beautiful, I have to say, it's a beautiful dough. Now we're gonna have to let it rest in the fridge for about 2 hours. And then we will proceed with the filling. So that is, I think, let me check. So make sure that it is, keep turning it so you get an equal thickness all around. Now it doesn't matter if it's not in a perfect circle shape. That's the whole point of a freestyle or a rustic galette. Chef Greg calls it freestyle. I like to call it galette. I love the word. And it's usually, it has to be made with stone fruits. But anything can work. He even says cherries. So this is 27 by 29. So I think I'm gonna stop rolling. I like this size. It doesn't have to be bigger. Okay, so. And the cool thing about this dough is that it doesn't contain eggs. It doesn't contain eggs. Okay, so that is ready. Now place it on a baking tray and chill it to let the gluten and the butter and everything rest. And then we will proceed in a couple of hours. Hi guys, so I'm back. I just took my crust from, okay, so it should have been in the fridge for 2 hours. Since it's getting dark, I put it in the freezer for 1 hour. And I'm just gonna wait for it to come to room temperature. But what we need to do is, while it's still really cold, peel off the baking paper. Okay, I'm just gonna show you a bit better. So we have to peel off the baking paper on both sides. Okay, I'm just gonna add a bit of flour here so it doesn't stick. Okay, and then I'm gonna put the short crust here, peel off the baking paper, and then leave it aside for a bit for it to come to room temperature so I can fold it. So that will stay here for like 5 minutes. So here, as I told you, it should be 4 peaches. Now Talia ate one of the peaches, or 2, and I used 2 peaches and 1 apple. So I hope it'll be fine. Now the recipe asks for 2 tablespoons of rum. I just put a bit of orange blossom with it, 30 grams of castor sugar in here. So I'm just gonna mix everything together. And then, so I'll mix everything together, and I have my 30 grams of ground So it should have been hazelnuts, but it is actually almonds because this is what I had. So I'm just mixing everything together. Talia, do you like fruit pies? Do you want to come?
Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to change and then I'll come back.
I think I'll be done. It's okay, Talia. Come, say hello. So this is Talia, my little assistant for today. Hi again. So as you can see, the crust has softened a bit. We just, waited for like around 4 or 5 minutes, not longer. It still needs time, but it's almost there. So I'm gonna use this ground almonds that I've prepared. I'm gonna put them in the center. I believe that's how we should do it. And then I'm gonna pile the fruits without the syrup in the center. So now, as the recipe says, we can place them, if you have a lot of patience, you can have like a pattern. I think I'm just gonna pile them. Actually, I'm just gonna use my hands. I've washed them like a million times. So I'm gonna use my hands, pile the fruits, and leave the juices at the bottom of the bowl. So I'm just gonna try to pile them in the center. And so that is almost ready. Is gently fold the edges. So this side is, I think, a bit thinner, so it is very pliable. I'm gonna fold it like this. Okay, Mom, I need a brush. So to do the egg wash, we should use cream, but I didn't have any liquid cream open. So I thought to use a bit of egg yolk because I had the egg yolk left over from a Swiss meringue that I prepared earlier. And I added to it a bit of milk and I'm gonna just use that. So I'm just gonna fold the edges. We have to make sure that the dough is soft enough not to crack so the juices don't seep out. And so that is beautiful and it's how it should be, rustic. And I'm just gonna try to take these a bit more out to ease it out like this. Okay, I hope you were able to see well. So it's nice to have the edges ruffled a bit. And now I believe we have to chill this for another 20 minutes before baking. Before baking it, we're gonna use the egg wash and some golden castor sugar on it. But for now, I'm just gonna chill it for 20 minutes before baking.